Hello and welcome back to my blog. We continue with essays on the Constitution of the United States, part 39, Agrippa 18, part 1. I had to split this one into 3 parts. The Massachusetts Gazette, number 406, Tuesday, February 5th, 1788. To the Massachusetts Convention. Gentlemen, in my last address, I ascertained from historical records the following principles: that, in the original state of government, the whole power resides in the whole body of the nation; that when a people appoint certain persons to govern them, they delegate their whole power; that a constitution is not in itself a Bill of Rights; and that, whatever is the form of government, a Bill of Rights is essential to the security of the persons and property of the people. It is an idea favorable to the interest of mankind at large that government is founded in compact. Several instances may be produced of it, but none is more remarkable than our own. In general, I have chosen to apply to such facts as are in the reach of my readers. For this purpose, I have chiefly confined myself to examples drawn from the history of our own country and to the Old Testament. It is in the power of every reader to verify examples thus substantiated. Even in the remarkable arguments on the 4th section relative to the power over election, I was far from stating the worst of it, as it respects the adverse party. A gentleman, respectable in many points, but more especially for his systematic and perspicuous reasoning in his profession, has repeatedly stated to the convention, among his reasons in favor of that section, that the Rhode Island Assembly have for a considerable time past had a bill lying on their table for altering the manner of elections for representatives in that state. He has stated it with all the zeal of a person who believed his argument to be a good one. But surely a bill lying on a table can never be considered as any more than an intention to pass it, and nobody pretends that it ever actually did pass. It is in strictness only the intention of a part of the assembly, for nobody can ever aver that it ever will pass. I write not with an intention to deceive, but that the whole argument may be stated fairly. Much eloquence and ingenuity have been employed in showing that side of the argument in favor of the proposed Constitution. But it ought to be considered that if we accept it upon mere verbal explanations, we shall find ourselves deceived. I appeal to the knowledge of everyone, if it does not frequently happen, that a law is interpreted and practiced very differently from the intention of the legislature. Hence arises the necessity of acts to amend and explain former acts. This is not an inconvenience in the common and ordinary business of legislation, but is a great one in a constitution. A constitution is a legislative act of the whole people. It is an excellence that it should be permanent. Otherwise, we are exposed to perpetual insecurity from the fluctuation of government. We should be in the same situation as under absolute government, sometimes exposed to the pressure of greater and sometimes unprotected by the weaker power in the sovereign. It is now generally understood that it is for the security of the people that the powers of the government should be lodged in different branches. By this means, public business will go on when they all agree and stop when they disagree. The advantage of checks in government is thus manifested where the concurrences of different branches is necessary to the same act, but the advantage of a division of business is advantageous in other respects. As in every extensive empire, local laws are necessary to suit the different interests. No single legislature is adequate to the business. All human capacities are limited to a narrow space, and as no individual is capable of practicing a great variety of trades, no single legislature is capable of managing all the variety of national and state concerns. Even if a legislature was capable of it, the business of the judicial department must, from the same cause, be slovenly done. Hence arises the necessity of a division of the business into national and local. Each department ought to have all the powers necessary for executing its own business under such limitations as tend to secure us from any inequality in the operations of government. I know it is often asked, against whom in a government by representation is a Bill of Rights to secure us? I answer that such a government is indeed a government by ourselves, but as a just government protects all alike, it is necessary that the sober and industrious part of the community should be defended from the rapacity and violence of the vicious and idle. A Bill of Rights therefore ought to set forth the purposes for which the compact is made, and serves to secure the minority against the usurpation and tyranny of the majority. It is the just observation of His Excellency Dr. Adams in his learned defense of the American constitutions that unbridled passions produce the same effect whether in a king, nobility, or a mob. The experience of all mankind has proved the prevalence of a disposition to use power wantonly. It is therefore as necessary to defend an individual against the majority in a republic as against the king in a monarchy. Our state constitution has wisely guarded this point. The present Confederation has also done it. More tomorrow. Make it a great day, and bye for now.